Hey guys, welcome to my first YouTube tutorial, and I'm super excited to bring you this fun glowy bronze look, perfect for summer and really all year long. It's super wearable and super light. Definitely build up the coverage to how you like though, but let's just jump right into it, shall we? So I already have my eyebrows on. I did them off camera with the Anastasia Dip Brow and Taupe. And if you want to see a video on how I do those, make sure you go check out my Instagram at @me_myself_makeup to go see that eyebrow video. So to get right into it, I'm actually going to go in with my Essence Camouflage Full Coverage Concealer. And I'm just going to tap underneath. I just tapped my concealer in underneath my eyebrow, and I'm just going to ever so slightly go and carve it out. And I don't like bringing my concealer all the way down onto my eye area there, because I'm actually going to be going in with an eye primer, and I'll be using the Makeup Revolution one. So one thing I do like to do is I'll bring that concealer right to the inner corner here, just to make sure I'm covering up any discoloration, and then like ever so slightly drag it on. So that's just gonna help deal with a little bit of the discoloration that I do have from obviously not getting enough sleep. So go ahead and do that to the other eyebrow. Next up, I'm going to start prepping the skin with my Becca First Light Priming Filter Instant Complexion Refresh. I actually got this in like a trial kit from, it was like an Ulta Face Perfecting Kit or something like that. So if you're ever at Ulta and you see those kits, they're usually like super good deals. And I'm actually just going to go and put that at the back of my hand. Just really not too much. I like to go in with my beauty blender and just kind of dab that on. So I'm just going to kind of keep it under my eyes and on like those high points. Start giving in that like glowiness to help prime the skin. As you can see, I have a few blemishes today. If this is going to focus, that'd be nice. A little bit of blemishes. But anyways, a really good tip that I kind of learned and like actually makes a lot of sense is to apply a primer with like a sponge or a brush, because if you start going in with your fingers, you might go in a little bit harder and almost kind of start exfoliating the skin. So it's just gonna like create more clumpiness and get you more of that cake face rather than like a nice lighter look if you know you may be going in with a full coverage foundation. And that one I actually learned from Alana Davidson. If you know her, I love her fashion videos. So yeah, that's another really good tip I learned. One thing I do like to use my fingers for is when I go around the eyes. If I ever apply like a face oil, I will go around the eyes and just kind of go within circles to help massage the area and also to help bring blood flow back into that area and circulation. And so it like kind of depuffs and like just really like kind of also gets rid of those bags a little bit. But as we let that base primer kind of really sink in and just kind of start moisturize and like hydrate our face a little bit, we're gonna start on the eyes. I always like doing the eyes no matter if I do a bold look or like a really simple look, just because it's like if anything falls out, it's just so much less time and like less of a hassle to have to go and clean it up after. So I am taking the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas in Illustrate. It is the lightest one that isn't the white one. I do have the white one and I actually really enjoy using that one for super colorful looks because the color payoff like really is like really good. So to blend out that concealer, I'm just using this double-ended, it was a Sephora collection brush, using the more kind of fluffier side here, just to go and dab that in. So for the eyes today, I'm taking the Tartelette Toasted palette. It is still a relatively new palette to me, but I really like the neutral kind of colors in here and just like the undertones to it, since we are going for that kind of bronze and glowy look today. I'm going into that top color S'more. I'm really at this point just setting the eye. I'm going to go back in with that double-ended brush just to kind of tap out any creasing that we may have already just had. And I'm just going to sweep that all over the eye. Next, I will be going in with the color Warmth, which is kind of like it's almost like a kind of a milk chocolatey brown in a way. One thing is definitely tap off your brush, especially if you've already done your foundation, because I don't know if you can see that, but it's quite powdery. But nonetheless, it's a really good palette. So I'm just gonna go in and just kind of loosely sweeping that on the outer corner of my eye as well as into the crease. Because I have a little bit more of a hooded eye, I don't like bringing it all the way in because it is going to close off that space that I have here, which is already not a lot of space because my eye is a little bit more hooded. So I'm just going to keep that color more on the outer edge and like don't bring it too far in, more than halfway if you have hooded eyes. But as always, not everyone's eyes are different. So just change it to fit your eye. Just kind of really lightly. Once again, on this eye, I'm going to go in and I just kind of do that V shape ever so slightly. And then slowly bring it in. Always going back in a second time for more pigment and color. By the way, that was a Morphe M441 that I used to do that color. And with another Morphe brush, this I got in a set of 20 like a while ago, so there was no like exact number to it. But it's just another really fluffy brush. This is going to be the brush that we just keep clean. Obviously it will get dirty. This is going to be the clean brush. We're literally just going to go over those edges and just go like right on the edge there. Just to make sure it's like super duper blended out. Going in with the color Cozy, which is this kind of deeper shade here. I'm going in with another Morphe brush. This is from one of their newer sets, like a 5-piece eye set. And it's a little bit more pointed there, as you can see. So just ever so slightly tapping it. And going, again, because I have hooded eyes, I'm going to kind of stay on that outer V corner area. So just slightly tapping it. Bringing it. Also not bringing it up as high, but keeping it more on the lid and in that V, outer V. So I'm actually going to wait to finish the eyes. I'm going to leave them here for now. We are going to add a shimmer in to really give that glowy brightness. But for now, I'm going to go and start working on the skin. So we'll just kind of fast forward through that. For foundation today, I'm taking the L'Oreal True Match Lumi in N1-2. Go ahead and tap that foundation in with the Real Technique sponge. I go back and forth between using brushes and sponges for face, especially because it all depends how I feel. If my skin is more dry, I will definitely use a sponge. And if I feel like my face isn't that dry, I will just go in with a brush, especially if I want to get it done fast and I want to keep something more fuller coverage. I will go in with a brush first and then help just get rid of any streaks with a sponge afterwards. I'm gonna leave it here just because we want to keep it more light. I do have a few pimples there, which we will be going back and kind of concealing over after, but I'm not too worried because like when you have those blemishes showing through, I know nobody thinks it's pretty, but it kind of helps give that more natural looking skin when, even though it's not natural because we have makeup on. So a concealer that I really come across to like, as well as the Essence Camouflage one, which is a really nice affordable one. It's like really nice lighter coverage. This is the Catrice Cosmetics Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer that I'll be using for the rest of my face. And I like this just to keep it with more coverage, obviously because it's in the name. But I like it simply for that reason. It does provide me a little bit more coverage. One tip that I am going to share is if you do have deeper set lines like I do here, I mean it's kind of hard to see, but if you find it you really crease a lot when you wear concealer, don't drag it up right to your lash line essentially. Keep it a little bit lower and then you can blend it up. That's the way I like to think of it. Do a little bit here, a little bit there. So what I mean by that, and I'm going to take my sponge, is just go blend it out and then you can bring it up. So next up, I'm taking my Smashbox Studio Skin Shaping Foundation in 0.5. I'm actually taking just the contour end because I actually really enjoyed this as a contour shade. And it's cream contour, which I also really enjoy for the summer because it kind of helps keep things more lighter, kind of natural looking. So the way I like to do this is to take a brush. This is literally a brush off of like Amazon, like one of those sites. Got it a while back, and it's just a nice stippling brush. So I like to just take the product like this and just kind of lightly stamp it on. I find it sometimes when I would just go like this, and like especially if you press too hard, it would take the foundation off, that like base. Or sometimes you even just apply too much pressure. Okay, so next I'm going to go and start sculpting the face a bit more. So to do that, I'm going to warm up the skin with the Patrick Star Give Me Life bronzing powder. This was from his collaboration last summer that he had with them. So I'm just going in, big fluffy brush, and just really putting that around the face. And you notice I have not set any in my face just yet. This is technically the first powder going on my face. And the reason I like to do that is because in the summer, nobody wants cake face. I find it sometimes I get a cake face. I put too much powder on my face. So I'm just really minimizing the use of powder that I need, really. Next, I'm going in. This is actually still relatively new to me, believe it or not. There's a lot of products out there that are just like people swear by that I have not yet tried yet. And one of them that I recently just started to try out was the Milani Luminoso Baked Powder Blush. And I actually like to take it, this is a brush I got from an Ipsy bag like last month or so. The Firma 103 is actually a contouring brush. but I really enjoy it as a blush brush. So I'm just gonna kind of smile, and I don't like to take it too far up. I like to kind of start here and go back. So before I get into highlighter, I am going to set my under eyes. To do that, I will be taking the Coty Airspun translucent powder and just dabbing some onto my sponge and just tapping it under my eye. I'm at it. I'm going to just go down the center of my nose. I don't like baking under my eyes, but just because I feel like my under eyes are very dry. But I don't mind baking kind of everywhere else in my T-zone. And while we're at it there, I'm going to flip my sponge and load it up with some powder and just go underneath here. So while my face is baking, I'm actually going to go in with the Anastasia and Emery's highlighter. And to do that, I'm using this Flower Beauty brush. It's really nice, kind of tapered. Honestly, there's a lot of uses that you could use it for. I'm just going to load up that brush and just keep it on these. I like to bring my highlighter a little bit onto the apples of my cheeks so it really catches the light, but also up on my cheekbones as well. Then I'm just going to take just like a multi-purpose brush. It's actually by the Equate Walmart brand that I found in the States. These brushes are super nice, like super nice. And I'm just going to go and dust off that baking there. As well as I'm just going to go under my eyes to dust off any excess powder that may have not kind of melted into the skin quite yet. So I'll zoom you guys back in and we'll finish off the eyes. So for the rest of the eyes, I'm actually just going to be taking that same Emery's Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter. And with that highlighter, I'm going to be taking it on a Morphe. Again, it was in that set of 5 eye brush set, that more newer one. And literally just load up your brush with that eyeliner or that highlighter. Can't go wrong, really. And to help bring in that glowiness, I'm going to just really sweep it in all over my eye, like so, as well as use that as my inner corner highlight. And as you can see, like, it's super glowy. I didn't even wet this. Like, that's just how great this highlighter is. And like, you can see the difference, so much brighter. Just looks so glowy. Doing that same thing to the other eye. So to finish off the eye look, I am just going to apply a light coat of mascara, but I'm only going to apply it to the top set of lashes, because sometimes when you put it on the bottom half, especially if you have longer bottom lashes like I do, it can kind of just drag down your eyes and create too much darkness when we really want to keep it bright. So I'm going to go off camera and just do that, and then we'll come back, do the lips, and we'll be done. So we're back. I applied mascara, and I applied the Tarte Man-Eater mascara. And one tip I would also like to share, that if you are like me and sometimes get a little bit of mascara on that lash line, you can go ahead, take a spoolie, and you can do this with eyeliner too. Just make sure the mascara and the eyeliner are completely dry. Take your spoolie, just kind of lightly skim over it. I'm going to take that pointed brush, that Morphe one, that last brush that we used, and go in with that warmth color, that first color that we used, and just drag it under. So to finish off the look, I just went in with my eyebrow brush and just combed through them all. And then as well, I went in with the Jordana Tawny lip liner and then the MAC and Patrick Star Cream Pie lip gloss. And very last step, I'm taking the Garnier Skin Active Soothing Facial Mist. This is the Rose Water one. Using this as my setting spray today, and it really helps just put everything in place and give back some hydration to the skin. And so here is the finished look. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to my first ever makeup tutorial here on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also don't forget to follow me over on my makeup Instagram at @memyself_makeup. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.